we haven't been able to get the pod going quite yet because he just stepped out to pee. We're going to be doing a late night one this time, so that's kind of cool. We've already done one like that, but this one will be different. It won't be the same. Don't put any of this in, Peter. Don't put any of this in. You're gonna fuck.
This time, it's different. With Peter and Chris. This time, it's different.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Peter and Chris Memorial Theatre in Toronto and also Vancouver, Canada. This time it's different tonight. Now, join me in a round of applause as we welcome out your host, Chris Wilson.
Hello. Hi. Hey, everybody. I am the host. Just me tonight. Only me is the host, and not Peter at all. He's just over there. He's sort of the sidekick for the night. Aren't you?
I've been demoted.
That's true. It's true. We have done one of these before. It's just a blast to be doing these. It's a blast to be out. It's a blast to be out in the world, huh? What'd you think?
Oh, I have been cooped up for too long, and it feels good to get back out to, the Winners, department store and the underground sex clubs I used to go to before.
That's right. You did. You had a massive problem, and you have gone to
yeah, I'm a
rehab
shopaholic.
about that, haven't you? You're
I'm a shopaholic.
If there's one place to shop and be a holic about, it's a Winners, I'd say. You're a winner when you're at Winners. You hear about this?
They do say that.
You hear about this in the news?
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't hear about it.
You want to get some news? Okay.
Yeah, let's get to the news.
Listen, they say that Newfoundland and Labrador, they're going to be putting on a soft drink tax. They're going to be putting a tax on soft drinks in 2022.
No good.
Yeah. The hard drink tax continues to be a wicked hangover, though.
Hey,
stay being that. Yeah.
You can have a fun night of drinking, but you got to pay that tax.
You got to pay somebody for that. Yeah.
You got to pay somebody.
You hear about this? Trudeau.
Let's go for it.
Trudeau's going to be naming his cabinet Tuesday. That's a dumb name for a cabinet. What do you think?
That's a personal favorite. I like that one. What I like about that joke is how upset it makes me. It makes me deeply upset, that one. That's a banger. That's a banger of a joke, though.
Yeah, these are all rejected 22 minutes headline jokes, just so we know that what you're hearing right now. Hey, how about this? You hear about this one?
No.
About this? The world's tallest woman is officially a 24-year-old woman living in Turkey.
Yowza.
What's
Yikes.
it like to be the tallest woman? Well, she says it's hard because dresses are shirts.
Because of how tall she is.
Yeah,
She's too tall.
It's like, exactly.
The fringe of the dress would be like near her belly button.
Yeah, you just wear it as a shirt.
You'd wear it as a shirt at that point.
Oh, this one's a great one. This one's a great one right here.
What does she need?
Scientists say. Oh, sorry. Did you want to riff a little bit on the tall woman?
Listen, I was gonna riff a bit. It's hard to see through these. It's hard to see through the sunglasses. What does she wear for pants?
Yeah, that's
the whole riff.
Question.
I don't know. I didn't know.
No, that's a good. I actually hadn't thought that through in the joke, and maybe it's a bit of a sexist joke, and maybe it's a problematic joke even.
Wait, because she wears dresses as shirts?
I don't know. I didn't think about what she would wear for pants. I'm just making a joke about her.
No,
host.
Not good. Host. It's fine. It's fine,
cool.
host.
Okay, well, I got a great joke coming up here then. Okay.
You can make jokes that involve women. You just can't. Well, maybe you can.
Oh, no, I don't know anymore. I don't think you can talk about women. Look at. You can't do it. You just can't do it.
We'll ask our guest later.
That's right. Coming up on the pod, we do have a wonderful guest. It's not going to be just us saying jokes and laughing at our own stuff. We got a great guest named Dana Smith. She'll be joining us shortly.
But it might still be us just laughing at our jokes.
But
we'll find out.
Very much true. Here comes a good one, though. You ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
You hear about this? About this in the news? Ryan Gosling is set to play Ken in the Barbie movie.
Handsome boy.
Starring Margot Robbie. Okay.
Hotties.
The film is going to be rated PG for sex scenes with smooth genitals.
Ooh. I don't know if I want to see it or if I don't want to see it. I feel equally both ways.
Do you
about
get that one, though? Because, like, Ken and Barbie...
Yes.
Yeah, you get it.
Well, they're famously smooth genitaled
Yeah, exactly.
in that area. It's very smooth in that area.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this one's a great one. This
All
one's
right,
a
talk
great
it
one.
to us.
A Toronto company has made a pair of shoes that will eventually biodegrade into an apple tree. That's true. That's true.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
Whoa.
Yeah. So, now, if an apple a day doesn't keep the doctor away, you can just kick them.
Because eventually it'll turn into an apple tree to keep them away.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you, I like that. I like this new advance in biodegradable shoes. I have a pair of slippers at home that that appear to be growing a lot of mushrooms in them.
Okay.
What I'm saying is I keep a very damp house. I've ruined this pair of slippers with my filthy feet.
I get that. I get that one.
I got dirty feet, folks.
You got... This is great. This is a great one. You remember the app Tinder? Remember Tinder?
I remember Tinder. Yeah.
Well, apparently a Tinder style app, it's been created. It's a lot like Tinder.
Ooh.
It connects unattached patients with a local family doctor.
Ooh.
Which is I think that's a pretty good app.
I like that app.
Yeah, but doctors still don't want to see men that are shorter than 5'10".
I don't like them short.
Yeah, they don't. You remember being on Tinder and that's what women would always ask your height?
Yep. Tall kings only.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
About my height? Well, I remember being as a kid. We'll get real. Maybe I'll even take the sunglasses off. No, I won't.
Oh my God.
I'm staying
Whoa,
on.
whoa.
I'm staying
Okay,
on. I'm staying
okay.
on.
Holy shit.
But I will say that as a kid, I remember being really, really worried as a young boy about height. And that is something that I think we kind of forget, that maybe young boys actually have a lot of body image issues and struggle. Maybe not the same amount as young girls, but definitely I can't speak to that. I can only speak to my experience. And boy, was I worried about if I was going to be tall enough, but not even to attract a woman. There was this weird sense of, am I tall enough? I didn't even know why I needed to be tall. But, as soon as Tinder came out, I was like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
They don't like them.
I hear that. I'm a 5'9" person, so, not tall. Certainly not short, right? Nobody would say that I'm short. No, that'd be gross. But no, I'm not short at all.
I think you know what it is? Here's what it is. Those people, if you're putting height restrictions on your bio, they're weeding themselves out of your life. Think about it that way, my short kings. If you see somebody who's like, they have to be 5 whatever, 6'10", then it's like, oh, well, they've self-selected themselves out of some really wonderful guys.
That's absolutely right.
Same thing guys do. We do the same thing, We're weeding ourselves out by being shitty. Are we allowed to swear on this channel? Are we allowed to swear on this network?
Fuck yeah.
Oh!
Whoa!
I play the piano a little bit here.
Hey, you hear about this? This is great. This is a very neat new thing that's happening. A new trend has people paying celebrities to break up with their partners for them.
No, they don't.
Via the popular app Cameo.
No way.
Yeah, people are doing that.
What is the world coming to?
I know. I guess nothing says it's over quite like Colin Mockery saying it's over.
That's a good one. I like that. What would
because he's on it. He's on it a lot, Yeah. When you look at the Cameo app, it shows Colin Mockery. We've had him on a show too.
We should have him on again. We should have him on to break us up.
We should have him on and Julie on and get him to break up with your wife. Okay.
I'm big fan of my wife. I love my wife. Can we bring her? Can I just bring her?
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
Why not? Heck, why not?
I'll just bring her.
Big fan.
We can bring Colin Mockery too. He could, he could still do his cameos. He could do that from anywhere. I mean, that's work from home business right there. Breaking up with people. Hey, host.
Yes. Yeah.
What would it be like if if Goldblum was to break up with somebody named Amanda. What would that
I
look
don't
like?
know. Oh, you want me to?
Yeah. I'm
you
trying
want
to
me
tee you. It's a classic host
Okay.
sidekick.
Oh,
tee
let's
up.
see. Yeah. No, I think he'd probably be a little bit like. Yes. Oh, ba-da-dee-da-dee, Amanda. Yes, you are no more. Yes, you're no longer around. Yes, go, vanish, be gone. Yes, ooh, bye. Yes.
Special guest Jeffrey Goldblum, everybody. That was
Wow.
for me and me
You know,
alone.
when you haven't done the impression in a while, it takes a second to get into it, and a second to get out of it, and then a second to find it again, and then another second,
and then a second to do it
lose
right.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
listen,
yeah.
you know, that was like watching you ride a sexy bike for me. I loved every minute of it. I was like, there he goes, he's off.
There
He
he is.
grows up so fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this one. Let's see if I can do this one. Okay.
Okay.
Singer Demi Lovato said recently that we should only use the term extraterrestrial as alien is derogatory.
All right. Okay.
Right? But if
Progressive.
you ask the extraterrestrials, they'd rather be preferred to be called last nations. Because they're gonna enslave, they're gonna take over the world, and
They're the last ones in.
They're gonna be the last
colon-
ones. They're
yeah,
gonna
they're
kill
they're
us.
coming and they're gonna do the nasty stuff, the colonizing. Last.
what do we think about that joke? Was it riding a line?
Hey, we'll cut it out of the show. No problem.
Oh, is this ride a line? I don't know. Again, hear about this?
I
A
haven't heard about
new
it.
comic book has come out
Ooh,
with Superman.
love Superman.
Superman comic book came out, and he is bisexual in the comic book.
All
Okay.
right.
And Clark Kent's glasses, they're unisex. From the unisex section of the...
All right.
Probably
So they just
cut that one out.
so you just got a pair. What you're
I don't know.
you're just saying that Clark Kent. You're saying Clark Kent just got a pair of sunglasses. He's got
Yeah,
the
he just has-
punchline is
he
he's
just
got a
has
pair
glasses.
of sunglasses.
Listen, it has the look of
Yeah.
a joke. It's like, oh yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Chris. Did what were you thinking when you started this joke out? And you're like, does this one ride the line? Were you worried that him buying a pair of sunglasses was going to
No,
be a
I
bit
thought it was
controversial?
I was asking if it would ride the line in terms of like even being a joke. I think it's riding the line. It's not anything, but it looks like something. It's really riding that line.
How would what if what's one of your impressions? How would Ryan Reynolds inform you that joke was a bit of a soft boy and needs some work? If I
Hi
were to
there.
buy him on Cameo.
Okay, he'd go like, "Hi there." Well, that joke was a flaccid penis of a joke, wasn't it? Well, that didn't really go anywhere. Smack my ass and call me Betty White, but that wasn't a joke.
And sometimes Heath does things that aren't jokes, like slap my ass and call me Betty White is just like a series of words, but he says it in a funny way.
He references Betty White so
A
often.
lot.
I don't know why. And that was headlines. That was
Oh, I
headline
love
jokes
it.
for you. And after the break, which we're taking right now, our guest Dana Smith. In a world where Barbie is a real-life person, and played by Margot Robbie, and Ken is played by Ryan Gosling. This is the trailer for that new movie with Barbie. Watch all the gratuitous, smooth sex scenes with the smooth genital sex scenes in the new movie Barbie. Coming out now. That's not going in.
Do you want to do it? This Time It's Different Tonight is brought to you by Gunderson's Famous Chicken Wings. There's no joke. No joke here. This isn't a funny commercial at all. This is it's literally a product made by a company, Gunderson's. They make fine, famous chicken wings. It's a good recipe. There's no bit here. It's not a bit. This is just like a straight up, we'd like you to try them. We have a good product, and we worked really hard. It's a family business. There's Edna Gunderson over there just juicing up the winger, we call it. That's the thing. So basically, it's a bummer. If you're a farmer, it's not as gross. But for those of you that live in the city, you put the chicken in the winger, and it kind of spins them around really hard and rips their wings off, and then we make our famous wings with them. But if you're aware of how food production works, it's actually just part of it. You have to get over that. And we're not doing a joke. It's Gunderson's famous chicken wings. Edna works really hard in the winger there, just winging those chickens all day, and we're hoping business goes well. And it's not to say that it's not, but we try hard, and we know you'll enjoy it as long as you cook them thoroughly. Gunderson's famous chicken wings. All right, enjoy the show.
And welcome back to the show. I hope you enjoyed watching those commercials and listening to those commercials. Those are sponsors of the show, of course. That is why we play them.
Fantastic commercials.
They're great commercials.
They're great brands, and we love them very much.
We certainly do. Speaking of somebody that we love very much, we got her on the show. We got her on the show today. Her name is Dana Smith. She's a comedian, and she has a brand new comedy album that she's here to promote. Put your hands together for Dana Smith.
All right.
Oh, stop.
Come sit over on the couch over here. There we go.
Don't motion like that to sit on the couch. Don't do that. Was too familiar. It was too comfortable.
Right. Well, that's what, I got my Letterman glasses on now. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Johnny Carson, he was always like this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he only puts his glasses on in the second part of the show. That's right.
Yeah. A little costume change. He wants to have a different style, different vibe when we're on the couch.
And
Totally.
I know we're supposed to be here for our guest. We're supposed to be interviewing Dana, and I'm just the lowly sidekick. Obviously, I'll stay out of it for the most part. I might even just leave. But before we get started, I just want to talk about these glasses. Are these new? Are these for the late night, or are these actually your personal? This is the new glass look for our lovely host, Chris.
Oh, you're asking if they're prescription, like they are mine.
Are they
My
yours?
person. No, check this out. Watch this. Look at this. Boom.
Oh.
They're fake. They're
Well,
fake
I like
glasses.
them,
They don't
though.
even have lenses in them. They're a costume piece.
Well, I do like them.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
Really
yeah,
good
they
on
look
you.
okay, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you need glasses?
I do.
Well, you should just
Oh,
turn
yeah.
those into glasses.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, here they are right here. You're not going to see much difference.
I like the
pretty
first
good.
ones.
What? you like the fake ones? So, Dana, tell us. You have a new album coming out.
Yeah, it's
When-
out
when
even.
Can we? It's out. It's out.
It's even out, yeah.
What's it
It's
called?
out. It's called I'll Smile at Your Funeral.
Perfect. Is that a story that happened?
That's based on a story that
Oh.
happened, a true story. You'll hear about it if you listen to the album, but it's a true story that
Oh my goodness.
I am a server, and there are many men that I've served in the past have, and I'm sure I don't know if have you guys ever been told to smile?
Nope. I'm a guy. I'm a cool guy, and I never
Yeah.
get to. No, but I'll tell you this: having a wife will definitely alter your perspectives a little bit, because I get told the number of times that men tell her things that she should do.
You know what the
pretty rough.
frustrating thing is? That I'm always smiling too. So it's like I'm a smiley person, especially at work. I feel like it makes me have a better day at work. And so this guy who
still
told
you're
me to
getting told.
smile, I was smiling already, but I guess it just wasn't manic or big enough for him. Anyway, so he was a guy. What you don't know in the album is that it was a guy that I knew, but not
Oh.
well. I did tell
Right.
him I'll smile at your funeral. He did stop coming back to the restaurant, but he he was a guy that I knew kind of. Like, he was my ex-landlord, and he was just he was a little, as we say in the industry, HM, high maintenance.
I mean,
Oh
Yeah, he was a bit HM, and so I'm busted my ass and he tells me to smile, which I'm already doing, and so I just had time to say, I'll smile at your funeral, okay? And he didn't like it.
It's such a good line, though. It's such a good response for that. Okay, can you educate the two of us? Maybe just me. I don't know, Chris. Maybe he knows all this stuff. But
Probably, yeah. Yep.
Is it a type as a server, or like even just a lady walking around? Is it a type of guy? Is it like the boomer type? Is it an older guy? Or is
it's
it
always
us
a
too?
boomer, always a boomer, and usually a boomer. And like honestly, I was surprised because he was with a friend, and usually it's a guy who's alone that asks you to smile.
That's so much more sad.
Yeah, it really is. Although nowadays with wearing masks, I get more so, boy, I sure wish I could see that smile again. You know?
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's disgusting.
It's
There must have been a show. There must have been some show that they all watched around that time in the 70s, 80s or something that was that kind of behavior. I don't know where, like, because it seems so ubiquitous. Like, is there a memo that went out that was like, do this to ladies?
I think that there's a lot of like women who and there's an expectation to be working hard but not look like you're working hard. So I think that it's just their subtle way of being like, I don't want to feel guilty right now for how much work you're doing. So could you just tone it down a bit? You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you feel? I feel like McDonald's had a slogan at one point. Didn't they like always just advertise that their employees are gonna serve you
Service with a smile?
Service with
Or
a smile. Was that
was
Tim
that them?
Hortons?
Tim Hortons, or I mean, the Happy Meal certainly is very
Right.
much.
They definitely had something
but-
about smiling. A smile every day, or it puts a smile on your face or something.
Because I feel like as a shitty teen, I remember
no.
ordering a smile
No.
from McDonald's from the person there. You know, you'd be like, it's so funny, and I'll get a smile with that Happy Meal, and we would all laugh. But now,
Did they smile?
Every one of them.
I don't think so. But it's like,
That's funny. No, it's because the smiles are free. That's what it was, or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So you would order a smile,
Right.
But as a,
and that's where it started.
A teenage boy doing bits, though, I feel like is a little different, maybe.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. I didn't mean it that way. That's for sure. I'll say that. You know.
You didn't. You meant it as a bit.
I meant it as a bit,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
okay.
Yeah,
doing
'cause
bits
you said-
Okay.
yeah.
As a server, Dana, do you or ex-server, whatever? I don't know if you're still doing it, but like, do you have so you have HM for high maintenance? Are there terms for people like I have to be careful because I like doing bits and joking around with the server? And-
We like
Yeah.
okay. So you have to be careful. This is are you talking about yourself?
I have to be careful because I like doing it, and I'll fool around with and make like do little scenes or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm trying to. I'm not doing like a scene.
quick
Like I don't play a
scene.
character.
Quick
5-minute improv.
Yeah.
Or I'll just be too. I think I'm too familiar, and sometimes it goes over well because what I'm trying to do is just be like relax. Like I know you're just doing a job, but like I'd like you to laugh because I like making people laugh. But now I'm thinking like, is that the new version of like just order your food and don't say anything? Like just be like, I'll have the
No.
burger, thanks.
No, I like that. I like it when people joke around, like especially when someone who like you who knows how to joke around. You know what I mean?
right.
Who knows how to do it without it being. The thing is that the place that I work, it's like a lot of boomers. Like truly, it's a kind of a greasy spoonish type place. So it's mostly 60-year-old men who don't know how to joke around. So my favorite customers are the sweet ones who are just. Honestly, the best ones are the ones who are in awe of me. That's what I prefer. I would prefer that.
I prefer to be worshipped.
Yes, thank you. I will take that over a tip, honestly. So I don't have that many like young sass pots. But we do have like older sassy boys, and they I think it's hit or miss because usually, and I don't know, have you noticed this, that my parents' generation and my parents especially say just like their version of humor is either just full on cruelty or very sexual, you know? So gross.
my parents are fairly religious folks, so that
Right.
tamped down a lot of the. So the jokes are going to be more like pure dad joke type humor.
Okay, yeah.
Your classic restaurant, like saying you hated it and passing an empty plate. Oh, I hated
just
every
hated
bite
it.
of that.
Yeah, I love those. That's
Yeah.
cute. That's cute. I much prefer the more puritanical jokes because my dad, he's classic with the I'm not like my dad. I'm not like your grandpa, Dana. I'll make a little joke about blowjobs here and there. No big deal. And it's like, yeah, but you're doing it without any finesse and you're just being gross.
Right.
Honestly, I feel for that so much because I think that's also why I don't like doing, like, Chris and I never really did a lot of like sex jokes in our sketches and stuff like that. And I think that's part of the reason, because it's like at some point I'm going to have kids and then I will automatically be that dirty old man like making the same jokes. And I feel that's like, it's almost like comedy 101. It's like, okay, move on past the, like, we get it. Sex is crazy to bring up in conversation. Like, I don't know, move on. Find something new. Find a better joke.
I do have some sex stuff, but it's
Oh, shit.
it's
God
better.
damn it,
It's,
Peter.
Don't
Peter,
worry.
what have
Don't
you
worry. It's definitely better written than what you would come up with. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And I guess I should walk that back. I'm talking personally. For me, it's not a good look. But like, I shouldn't say what other people should make jokes about. Absolutely not. I can't
Right.
wait for the album.
Oh,
When it
it's
finally comes out.
when it finally
It's
drops.
already out. You have to listen to it. Did you record it during the pandemic?
No, I recorded it. Actually, that was weird to listen back to it because it was recorded back in 2019, and I was like, I'll figure out what to do with this later. And then COVID hit, and we had Allison Dorr on our podcast, and she was telling us about her label, and it just like sounded too good to be true, Howl and Roar, and it was just and so I reached out to her afterwards, and I was like, hey, I'm just sitting on this audio, was planning on releasing independently, but I kind of like the cut of your jib. Do you want it? And she's like, okay. And it's been really, really fun working with her.
That's awesome.
So it
that
was recorded in 2019 at the Fringe in Winnipeg. So I was able to get a lot of different takes, but I think we wound up just using the last one of the run because that's the one that was the tightest.
Yeah.
I think you were in Toronto as well. Like, I remember being with Tim on like the last night that we performed, and then like the week after,
Yeah.
it was pandemic time, and we really snuck in those Sketchfest shows because the weekend after we performed, it was like shut down. Everything was shitty.
We were we got there and there was like news on the TVs at the airport that were like the NBA was shutting down and like the sports teams were shutting down, and then we were like, oh, I don't know if we should be going, and then we got there and things were like, it was a noticeable decline every night that we performed in audience, in like the comfort of the audience, in my own personal comfort. It was weird.
Yeah,
So weird.
I
flew
remember
back.
going out on like, we were still doing Second City shows after we were allowed to come back. It was like in September. But then the list of rules that we were saying to people beforehand were not conducive to making anybody laugh ever. It like ruined every show. We're like, put your mask on. If you want to take a sip of your beer, take a sip, but then put your mask right back on. We shouldn't even be here. What are we doing? Like that kind of vibe. And then everybody in the audience was like, yeah, I guess we shouldn't be. And then, each show sucked. Generally. Generally sucked.
Like we were there to do our show. We don't have names for our shows. Why was I going to name it? Our show, and we typically we were doing this show for the past like few months, and it was the joke was that like, oh, I felt like I wasn't successful enough. Tim didn't feel like he was sexy enough, and Matt felt like he had Ebola. And so we were like, no, don't worry about it. That's not, you gotta think positively, and you're fine. But then it's like becomes clear throughout the show that he does have Ebola. So we changed that last minute, still to a disease, but just like a less scary one. We were like, let's just do like rabies or something like that.
Less contagious, or I guess it is still
Yeah.
contagious. I don't know, but yeah, Ebola makes you think about pandemics.
Yes. Yeah.
For sure.
But we still definitely did a show about sickness.
I always think I flew back out of Toronto Sketchfest right before the NBA canceled, like a day before even, and struck up a conversation with the person sitting next to me. And I always think about her because she was like a nurse, like up north, and was one of the very few, like they don't have a lot of healthcare people up there. It was like a small tiny town, and it was she was like, I'm kind of the mother hen of the whole whatever the town. So I'm like, I wonder if I still have her card or something. If I could be like, is everything? Are you okay? Did you
How
make
are
it?
you doing?
Because we're
Turns
sitting
out
on the
she's
plane.
anti-vax.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Oh God, I hope not. We're sitting on the plane just talking about it, and it was all the usual stuff, right? It was the like, this is crazy what's going on in other places. Like it was,
Yeah.
we didn't really. It wasn't here yet, so it was all that stuff of like, yeah, I mean, it'll be like the flu, it's gonna be, it'll sink into the population, and but it just seems crazy, huh? Yeah, totally. All right, see you later. Bye. I walk out of the airport like, my life's never gonna change.
Yeah, it is so weird to think about how I full on remember thinking, oh, that's not a problem for me,
Yeah.
though.
No.
No,
I was
me
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Where I was like, ugh. And even having shows, I was like resentful of the idea of shutting down because I was
Yeah.
like, people can decide. It's not like
Yeah.
we're the ones tempting them. But now I'm like, whoa, what a piece of shit I was.
Now you
eh?
have
Well,
just
but-
like Doug Ford, and I don't know what it's like in BC and also Manitoba, but like Doug Ford, the premier, was like, you know what, we're gonna be done with this thing in like March. That's it, we're done. It's like we're just everything's open up, and you don't tell that to people where you're trying to get them vaxxed.
Yeah.
And you get those last 8% or whatever that just need to be vaxxed.
Yeah.
And they're not now. Like come January, you won't need to be. You just have to hold out.
Oh,
Like that's
I
what
see
they're
you're
saying.
There's
And
gonna be
there's
done
not
with
going to
it.
be any vaccine passports anymore.
Come January?
Come January, yeah, and then
Ooh.
all of it fully done by like March.
They should probably not
Just-
do that.
And you're like, okay, so you've just like given power and shown that the anti-vaxxers, they can just wait it out,
Just
and
hold
there'll
out.
be no repercussions.
Or they'll pay you or something.
Right.
In your defense, Dana, to defend you about like, you're like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit. But it's like, I was the same way. I think I was one of those not worse than the flu guys
Yeah.
early days. And I
Yeah.
think that there should be some grace period or like the smarten up period. So it's like, there's the early days where we're like, just leave the gyms open. Come on. Like, let's just not make a big hassle. And then
Yeah.
a couple of experts go on the news and say expert things. Now it's time to smarten up. So that was what happened to me. I was like, all right, well,
right.
time to smarten up and I'll
Fair
stay
enough.
home. Yeah,
I was
exactly.
lucky to have Rory. Rory is just like a little bit smarter than me, and he's he was like, he always came to these realizations just before I did. So now I kind of follow Rory's lead. Rory's in Hunks for those who don't know. But yeah, like when we were in Toronto, I was like, we should still be able to do shows. He's like, no, you shouldn't. I was like, okay, fine.
Okay, all right.
Okay, you're right. Sorry.
And that's all we all needed to do. Like that's
Yeah.
the mark of a good person is like when faced with somebody that you trust or like some science that you go like, okay, cool. It's all good. Little tiny piece of cloth over my face. Yep. Not a big deal.
Not a
Like,
problem.
don't see why it's a big deal at all.
Oh, I always loved having the masks, especially at
love
work,
them.
because I love them because I don't have to. Not that I ever really wore makeup, but now it's like even more less of a reason to wear makeup, and I don't have to even look presentable at all. It's nice.
Sometimes I just like wearing it for the fact of like that you could do this move and like put it
Oh, you
underneath
like it
your
under?
chin.
You like doing the under?
And then I feel like I'm like, it defines my jawline.
Look at your jaw. Exactly. No, I had so many people. At work when I
Yeah.
started wearing a mask. They were like, have you lost weight? And I'm like, no, I just have a jaw now.
Yeah.
I also like the mask because it's like an opportunity to accessorize. Julie went on Etsy and found a whole bunch of Star Trek masks for me, and it's like, oh, this is the best. Like I pick which character I want.
Bring one out. Where is it?
I got one right in front of me.
Let's
in
see
fact.
Nice.
All right,
Of course,
okay,
we've
okay,
all got a
fine.
mask near us. Pop that on.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, that is nice.
Oh, I like
Now-
that.
Now, one
For you
thing-
listeners, it's Data and Worf, right? Am I a Trekkie or what?
You are correct and are now a Trekkie. However, I would put forward this is kind of a problematic mask because like Data and Worf, they didn't really have a lot of two-person episode. Like they weren't really a dynamic duo. I would say Data and Geordi were like a dynamic duo.
Oh, right. Okay. Geordi
What do you
LaForge.
think, Chris? What do you want to get in on that or like what? what are your favorite?
Yeah,
episodes?
whenever I was watching Star Trek, I couldn't wait to put my eyes on a Data and Geordi scene.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was
good
even
Data
there was
Geordi
even that
episode.
song that they sang together,
That's
right?
right. Yes.
Go for it, guys.
Data and Geordi. We're Data and Geordi.
Geordi.
One's a robot, the other
Yeah,
has
a visor
visor.
on his face. I think it was very literal. Like it wasn't. It didn't have like a jingle to it. It was just very
Yeah.
No,
descriptive.
It was really bad. It was a really
Yeah.
bad song.
I don't mind. Like it's a little stuck in my head though right now.
I keep doing this is a little off
Data
track,
and
but
Geordi.
I keep doing this and fully freaking myself out. I don't know if you've noticed, but the background will pop out when I raise my hand up. The background pops out and this woman's face. Fuck, I can't
No,
do it
we don't-
anymore.
Oh, I
believe
saw
you.
I saw her.
Yeah.
What is she
been-
doing there?
And then I've just seen this like woman. We'll scroll back, everybody. But I can't do it. Oh, there you go.
Is she
Can't
with
do it
me
anymore.
too? No.
No.
I have
No.
like graphic. What is it? It's what
It's
you're
the background in the room I'm in. Yeah.
I was just like, is she layered into the picture?
But I see this like I don't know who she is. Maybe
It's like a Chanel
some-
something or whatever. It's
some
like one of
movie
those classic-
star. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
And
an
I keep-
anime character.
No.
Chris is pretty big into anime.
I love it.
I remember we were doing the Fringe years and years and years and years ago. Early days of our quote unquote careers.
Where we all met doing this. Yeah.
Yep.
The Fringe.
And I was watching, I forget what, I was like Ghost in the Shell, I think, or something. I was watching some anime. I enjoy the odd anima. And Chris like walks behind me, and it's always this when you're watching anime. It's never like, oh, it's a beautiful scene, like a beautiful downtown cityscape with like a person running and buying hot dumplings or whatever, and you're like, oh, that looks awesome. It's always just some weird shit, some weird fucked up shit that a person who doesn't watch anime isn't ready for. So he comes around the corner, he's like, oh, what are you watching? And it was like kind of a cool chase scene, but then he comes around the corner and there's this woman who was like a robot or like a doll robot or something like on the steps, and she looks up at the camera, and then her eye, like all her parts, like it just explode outwards with all these like springs and sprockets and stuff. And her tongue is like, and it was just like, just some anime. He's like, holy crap, and then just walked away. It's like, why can't it just be a cool spaceship or something?
quite
Why is it-
vividly, I remember that image. Like, I feel like with every anime I've ever watched, there is something that you just don't unsee.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's always tentacles. It's always tentacly.
They always slice somebody clean in half, and they're really good artists.
Yeah.
So you see all the guts and stuff.
It's like there's like the Princess Mononoke scene.
Oh.
It's
Yes.
at the beginning, like the spiders
Good
that were
movie.
coming at you and the tentacle things.
Or like the monster when it was infected. I'll never forget that when it looked like it was just covered in worms. Remember
Oh
that?
yeah, the deer
Oh.
with the human face.
Yep, they're
is
so
that-
good at
fuck.
they're so good
No,
at
it was a
writhing.
giant hog. It was a giant
Oh, yeah,
hog
yeah.
that came
Yeah.
running out of the forest, and it was just horrifying.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll never be able to forget it. That
I
was
watched
a
it as a
Kira
kid
for me.
too, and I was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I just watched like Totoro or something, My Neighbor Totoro, and I'm like, "Oh, this is great.
This is what anime is.
I'll watch more Miyazaki films." And then, yeah, graphic.
Yeah. But great food scenes, eh?
They're so good at food.
They're so good at food, I want to make
So
it.
good at food. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just thinking about tentacles, though. I've lost my appetite.
Here's a good question they might ask on a late night show.
Oh, sure, do it. Oh, yeah, because we're on one of those right now.
Yeah.
How do you,
so am I.
Dana? how do you come up with your ideas? Where do you get your ideas from?
It's like the worst late night.
What do you thought? It's like
the Jimmy Fallon-esque
Gosh.
question.
Yeah, I think it's all my kids. Sometimes I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking, what is going on in this sick little brain of mine? You know what I mean?
It's crazy in here.
I am a little tweaked if out
can
there.
get pretty
If you know what
random
I mean.
inside.
Yeah. Kooky. How would I just sick? I'm a sick little puppy.
Yeah, you're a sick little puppy.
Yeah. So I just want to get my sick little kooky, quirky thoughts out on paper. No, I don't have kids, and I don't know.
They just come to me, okay? Yeah.
I don't have kids and I don't know.
I do, like, if I have to answer, I'll just answer that question as well. I sometimes find that I can never even think about how I did have ever had an idea.
I
Yes,
think that's
and-
why it's a terrible question.
No idea.
I don't know, and I probably will never write another joke again.
Yeah,
I'm always worried that I'll never write another joke again.
Whenever we sit
every
down to
joke
write a
you-
new
yeah.
show, I'm just like,
Yep.
how is it possible that we wrote an hour of jokes?
I know.
100%.
And some
Yeah.
would say we did it.
And we never did.
We did it.
Some would love for us to figure out the answer to that question so we could start writing some jokes. But unfortunately. No, I mean, that's
do you
why it's
have-
a terrible question, because it's like, it's ethereal. It's just like, I don't know, it's math being done in my brain that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, because I guess I have a new dog, so I'm like, well, I want to write something about Peggy because she's taking up a lot of my brain right now.
Yeah.
And now have I? Not really. I wrote that song about her eating shit that you guys heard, and that's pretty much it.
Solid song, though.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thanks.
Have you been? Can I ask about the business side of things? And I don't mean specifically how much money you'll make or whatever, or like, but like, so how much money like will it make? Or
I knew it was coming.
because I do have a real question. I have a real question, but it's always I see the left turn and I'm like, I gotta take that for fun, and I'll try to get back on the highway now. Which is, did you self-produce? Like you just recorded it, basically like taking audio from the room at each one, and then get it cleaned up. Or did you go to any, like, is there a company behind this, or is there?
Well, Tim recorded it. He's been recording some albums for some people. He had been for a little while, and I was like, well, we might as well just record it because I'll be doing 10 or 11 shows in a row, so it's like a pretty good way of getting a tighter recording. And so he had it all set up. I was planning on just self-releasing, but then Howl and Roar came in my path, and I was like, oh, this is great. I'd much rather not do any of the work.
So it was like sort of self-produced to begin with, and then
self-recorded, and then we sent the recordings, but then like they cleaned it up. They cleaned up the audio. Yeah, they did a lot of work on it on their end. But really, it was just a way of doing something with it, because I knew that if I didn't send it to someone else, I just wouldn't do it. Like, yeah, I hadn't listened to it yet. But like I had done it so many times that I knew what was on it, but I hadn't listened to it, and I knew that if I wanted to put it out, then I couldn't listen to it first. I would have to just send it to them, send them the files, and then be like, do you like it? And then just hopefully things work out. And then I did listen to it after she had edited it, after they had edited it. And I took about 4 months to get back to them because it was hard to listen to yourself. Oh, God.
It's like, we'll just let sketches we film sit on a hard drive because I don't want to watch me. I'd rather just have somebody else do it because I'm just not going to like it.
Not
be in
gonna
a bad
like
mood.
even if I'm not in it, I've found editing comedy has gotten harder. It's hard to like sit down and try to like make it funny or remember why it was funny or not ruin it if it's already funny.
Yeah,
like,
because
it's so
live
stressful.
comedy. Hunks we've been recording for a while now. I don't know if we planning on doing anything, but a studio album, which is a
great.
lot easier to listen to because it's not dependent on the magic in the room at the time, on the liveness of it all. It's just supposed to sound this way, and the way
Right.
that it's supposed to sound. And it's not dependent on anyone's reactions or whatever. So I much prefer listening to that. Like, I don't mind listening to that stuff. It's just when it's just like listening to the album. I like it, and a lot of people have said this about it, where they're like, it really feels like you're in the room. Like, it's a really fun energy. It feels like you're at a live show. Oops. Feels like you're at a live show. And so that's good, because when I was listening to it, I was like, this seems kind of like a big you had to be there, but it's not. I promise it's not.
Right.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah.
I get that though.
Here's a very late night question for you, because I'm teeing you up.
How much money do we make?
Yeah, what's in the bank account?
Yeah.
No. Because you do have an interesting story that I don't know if our listeners would know, but like, did you get fully married on the Debaters? Like,
Yeah, I did.
Wait, Chris, can you tee that up a bit more? Like the host doesn't really know what they're teeing up.
So you were on CBC the Debaters once with your now husband Tim, but he wasn't your husband at the time, was he?
No, he wasn't. At the time, in fact, we were simply a couple living together, fully committed but in love.
Thanks a lot, Dana, and I'll wrap that up here. So, Chris, if we have, could you imagine what just happening? That's the rudest possible thing to do, and I'm sorry, Dana, that I did that.
It was perfect. You had to take it.
An obvious tee-up story, and then you just move on. I am very sorry about that. Okay, let's see if we can get back into the story, because I actually this is
it's
awesome.
good, because then I know I don't have to talk like an announcer too, for some reason. So Tim had been asking me to marry him for a couple years at that point, and
You're like saying no, or
yes, I did say no. I said no.
Yeah.
I said no when he flew out to Paris to surprise me.
Oh, that must have hurt.
Well,
No,
here's the
yeah.
thing. It
No.
hurt me more, because I had told him 1 month before that time that I didn't want to get married. And so but he still, and here's the thing, like, it sounds like a huge gesture, but keep in mind that he gets very, very cheap flights because his mom retired from Air Canada.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
he told his boss that the reason he had to take this week or 10 days off is because he's going to propose to his girlfriend. So it kind of was the only way he could get the time off work to come out to Paris.
Okay.
And so I did say no. And he was cool with that, because it was very obvious that he was in the wrong, because he was also very drunk. He was also like, he had flown out there, he brought his great grandmother's ring, which spoiler alert, was missing the center stone. It is now fully broken, and it's
a mess.
my dude.
yeah, just a hideous. And I told my mom that, and she's like, well, that's just lazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. And then he got drunk and proposed next to the Seine, which smelled like piss, on a day that I was like, I just want to go home. I'm not feeling good. I got a headache. So he got drunk by himself. I'm like, I'm not feeling the wine. So anyways, I said no, because I was like, you know this. But basically, what, like, that's kind of the show version of it, like the show story version. But like, really, what it was why? I'm not ready. Like, come on. And I can't think of anything worse than an engagement that's lasting a super long time that I have to talk about it now. I have to talk about what I want in a marriage or what I want in a
Right.
wedding. And when I don't want one, period, it sounds too stressful. And then we were talking about pitching for the debaters, and I was like, because Tim was like, I don't have anything special about me. It's true. He's a white guy. So he's like, I don't have anything like any kind of like hooker. And I was like, well, you have been proposing to me for quite some time, and we're in a relationship still. And if I would debate you about whether or not we should get married. And then if you win, I would definitely marry you. And it sounds like that's like the perfect, because it wasn't about me not wanting to be with Tim. It was about not wanting to go through all the rigmarole of a wedding.
Right.
Especially when a lot of it would fall on me. To plan and stuff like that.
I mean, he didn't even get a stone. He didn't even get a stone in the ring.
Exactly.
The first time. It's
That's
all
what
going
I'm
to be you.
talking about. So he agreed to that, and we were very excited, and we talked to our friend Graham, and he was like, "Would you get married on the stage?" And I was like, "Even better. Now I don't need to plan a wedding. It's done." I mean, of course, Tim had a few tricks up his sleeve because he was like, he's just such a romantic and a celebrator, and that's what I love about him. But then he was like, but we should still do a reception, right? And so we still did. So we did another, basically a wedding in August.
Yeah. That's the best. You want to have the party. That's the point.
It's just a party reason.
Yeah, that was just the party reason.
Yeah.
So so the stakes were pretty high though. That is like one of the better CBC, like that's one of the better debaters ever.
Thanks.
Gotta be.
Yeah, the stakes were very high.
He's like, I have to win.
And the debate just before us was Courtney Gilmore debating Erica Sigurdsson about whether or not she should crowdfund for her new prosthetic limb. And the crowd in Winnipeg said no.
What? Really?
I know.
Oh, I thought it would be like a teed up, like
Obviously.
Tim's gonna win.
Yeah.
Obviously,
It was a very cold crowd.
A very cold crowd. They were like, "Boo! You don't pay for your own limbs." And then Tim was really worried that they weren't gonna. But we had we'd invited all of our friends and family too. Yeah. So
So you had a good idea that it was gonna, and they could also cheer. Is it they cheer louder for the winner? Is that?
Yes. So that's how they decide. Yeah.
Right.
That's so they cheered pretty loud for him because he came out in his tuxedo and I came out in my overalls.
That's so funny. Just like not ready. You're like
Yeah, I'm not gonna get married today. All right, so he wore you down, and then he finally won you in a competition.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, I would have, and like now, I'm like at the time. I think when he proposed, I think I was like 27 or something like that, or 26, which was very early into our relationship. Like we had only been dating for 3 years, which to me is not enough time.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, we've been dating for 3 years, and we started when we were 23 too. So it's like
pretty young.
Yeah. But by the time that we actually did get married, that was when I was like, okay, if you had asked me normally now, I probably would have said yes. I just wasn't down for it at the time.
And that's what I love about that. And you're very wise because, like, you keep reading articles like, oh, people are getting married less and less, and marriages are, the marriage rates are way down. But it's like, yeah, because fewer and fewer people are deciding to do it, and when they do it, they're older now and they're better relationships. That's what's happening.
Yeah,
like the marriage rate is going down because we're being smarter.
Yeah,
and
probably the divorce rate is also going down.
I think that it is.
Yeah.
We're doing it right.
Good job, everyone. We're doing it. I'm not married, but
is that what the? Oh, sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to make it about how cool marriage was. No, but it's like it's not for some people, or even if it is, you're still being smart about it. You're being like, well, it's not. You don't have to rush.
Yeah, and I
Just
mean,
rushing
really, it
into
is
stuff.
just a big old party. I feel like it's just a big party. I mean, a big stressful party. Any party is stressful, but
Yep.
it really is about that. Although afterwards, there was a noticeable honeymoon period, which, like, when we did get married, which we'd already been together for like 7 or 8 years at that point. So,
Yeah, I think,
yeah, I don't know what it was, where it's just like a fun new experience that you went through together. Not necessarily an end all be all, but it was just a fun experience.
Maybe I'm just like a filthy West Coaster or something, but there is it's like, yeah, part of it's like 50% legal, blah, blah, blah. But there is something spiritual. There's a magical something going on.
There's
I don't know.
definitely a coziness that wasn't
Yeah.
that, like, a cozy, exciting part that I didn't expect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's I don't know, you're just like, oh, that's weird. Like, it's not really a thing that you can, like, diagnose and be like, oh, that's because the wedding was on a Wednesday and it's now the weekend coming up, so I feel even more relaxed. It's like, no, there's something there. Something
Yeah.
magical.
And, like,
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I don't know.
okay,
I don't know.
or,
So I can't speak to that. So that's fine. That's fine.
yeah.
I don't want to speak to that.
Some people just like being lonely. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to speak to that, okay? Don't push
And
him.
that's fine, Chris.
Yeah, and that's
Enjoy
okay.
it.
Totally okay.
Peter, you have to go in like 4 minutes or something. This will be.
That's
off.
not how. That's how we're.
No. I know. I'm taking a, like, we'll edit this little chunk out.
I'm
right?
gonna keep it in. I'm gonna
Oh,
get you
don't
in
keep
trouble.
it in. All right, fine. I'll do it properly. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the show, everybody.
Wait, you're
Thank
not
you.
even gonna say goodbye to Dana. You just like
Yeah.
immediately turn to the
I was
camera and
about
end the
to-
show.
I was about to do it. I was literally, it was the next sentence. And it's like,
She just
and that's
poured
all
her
the
heart out
time.
about her marriage.
Gosh, this is the least professional late night show I've ever been on.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so, all right, Dana, thank you so much for joining us. And your comedy album, I'll Smile at Your Funeral, is out now, and you should check it out. Check it out, everybody. Keep it going for
where do we check it
Nickelback.
out?
What's that?
Check it out on iTunes.
I just trampled all over Chris's joke. Is it on iTunes, Google Play? I got YouTube Music. Can I get it there?
No, just try iTunes.
Just do the iTunes. We all
Okay,
have
just
an
do
Apple
iTunes.
thing. Just get it there. And you can listen to your podcast, the Hunks podcast. It's a great podcast.
Thanks.
There's an episode with us on it. You
should check that one out.
Go over there.
And just that one. Just do that one.
Find an entry point if you like us. Hopefully you like us. You've made it this far into the episode.
Oh, yeah.
And how
I also like,
I think-
I'm just leaving him out to dry. Like, I'm not helping at all. I'm just sitting here quietly like an asshole.
I'm sure you'll have slammed to the credits at
This time, it's different. With Peter and Chris. This time, it's different.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network.
Sonar!
Oops, drop the podcast.
What if people liked and also subscribed?
I think we're just down here to kill time.